Now, let's get into our call to action and talk about the Think Plus advantage. See, the data, the distinction, and the accolades. See, this is for people who you talk to. This training right here, this little, short training that we do is designed for people. If you took a look at the business and you're a guest or a prospect taking a look at the business and you're wondering, you want to do some decision making, you want to do some research, you're on the fence, that kind of thing. You have some questions, you want to learn more about the company, the background, get into the leadership and the technology and the platforms and the services and what is the industry saying about what we're doing. That's what this is for. Okay, this will help you to understand exactly what's going on with our company from the outside looking in, right? So let's talk about the leadership team first. Michael Falquist is our Chief Executive Officer. Christian MacArthur is the President and Chief Operating Officer of the company. Roop Buller is the Chief Financial Officer. These three gentlemen have been in business together for almost 20 years with several companies. They own multiple companies together. This is a cohesive group here. We're going to talk about Michael Falquist specifically in just a second because I have a slide just about him. But Christian MacArthur, our president and chief operating officer, he's like the brains behind the operating engines of this company. He actually helped build the largest third-party energy supplier that had the most customers ever acquired in the history of deregulation. He was the procurement person for that company, like procuring the energy, going out and getting the energy on the open market and developing these partnerships to bring the cost down and bring it to the consumer at a lower cost. That's Christian, okay? Roop is the chief financial officer, and he's been there since day one as well. He's helped navigate these companies that they've owned together over the course of time, and we'll talk about one other one previously as well. This is somebody who's just a genius in the financial sector. And so this trio, I don't think there's any trio like this anywhere in the energy sector. I don't know that it even exists just because of what they've done. I certainly know that in the direct sales energy space, there's no group that's more experienced than them with the accolades that they have. We have a recent addition to our staff, Charla Gervers, who came in early in 2025, just about a year ago almost, coming up on a year maybe soon. She's our Chief Growth Officer. No joke. She is serious, okay? You're talking 20 plus years of experience or so in this sector, in direct sales. She's helped build companies to $1 billion with a B in revenue. Okay, so no stranger to success. And this is a strategic hire that the company did. And she has hit the ground running with us, you guys. And so when you look at this executive staff, our officer staff, you're talking about nearly, it might be over 100 years of combined experience in direct sales and energy. That's no joke. Go find a company that has this. I don't even know if it even exists. It's just amazing in the technology, direct sales, and energy space. I think that this is a unicorn when it comes to that. Now, our CEO, Michael Falquist, another genius. I mean, he's one of the reasons why I came aboard here and decided to leave my previous profession behind and jump in here with Michael Falquist. He has a massive background in this industry from 2009 to 2019. He and Christian and Roop and their whole team, they built a direct sales energy company. That's what we are, you guys. They built a direct sales energy company from zero to a $500 million valuation in less than 10 years. Think about that. Now, I imagine that we're going to be a $500 million company. I'm not imagining, I envision it, I see it, it's going to happen. We are going to be that as well. And if that happens, I believe that these gentlemen, this company, I believe that Michael Falquist and Roop and Christian will be the only people that have ever done it twice in the direct sales energy space. I don't think anybody's ever done it twice. So it might be a unicorn there as well. He was named Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year. Ernst & Young, one of the most prestigious awards you can get, Entrepreneur of the Year. Okay, they don't just give this out to anybody. This is a international award. with a major amount of accolades that go along with it. So just to give you an idea, this isn't somebody that just arrived yesterday. Okay, this is somebody highly experienced doing business the right way. He's also now the Energy Well, obviously CEO and founder of Energy Well, which is the energy technology company that's powering the sustainable energy transition. And Energy Well just happens to be the parent company of Think Plus, the very company and program that you're looking at, the opportunity that you're looking at and considering it for yourself. So let's talk about some press releases. There's one that came out in November of 2021. This is before we ever had acquired the company Think Energy as a supplier. Energy Well announced that they had received a $100 million capital commitment to create a best-in-class sustainable energy platform. And it talks about Michael and Christian and Rupin there. And it talks about Oak Tree Capital and Hartree Partners. That's where this $100 million capital commitment came from, Oak Tree Capital. So let's take a look and see how that kind of stacks up, because the corporate lineage, when you look at where did one where did one company come from that helped another company come aboard that helped another company come aboard under the umbrella? So Think Plus is the direct sales channel for Energy Well and Think Energy and all things Think related. There are some sister companies to Think Plus that are also owned by Energy Well, like Think Community Solar, like Think Energy, the actual supplier, like Think Home Solutions that helps to administer autosave. Okay, those are sister companies to Think Plus. We are the marketing arm. We're the direct sales channel marketing arm. So Energy Well is the parent company to Think Plus and the sister companies that we just mentioned. So that's how it fits together. Well, who's the parent company of Energy Well? Well, you look at that press release, it's Oak Tree Capital. That's the parent company to Energy Well. So that's Think Plus's grandparent. And then you have Brookfield. If you do any research and you look up, well, who's Oak Tree Capital? Go Google them and look them up. It'll tell you that they're a wholly owned subsidiary that operates under their own finances, but a wholly owned subsidiary of Brookfield. Go look up Brookfield. Brookfield is a $200 billion publicly traded company with 200 plus thousand employees. 200,000 plus employees. That's more than Microsoft, you guys. So you're not going to get a $100 million capital commitment from Brookfield and Oak Tree Capital, Oak Tree Capital, which is a subsidiary of Brookfield, by accident. I mean, you're not going to get that unless you're doing business the right way. They're going to go through and fine tooth comb everything you've done before they're going to give you that type of capital commitment. So press releases tell a significant public story. Now, not a lot of companies can say that, and a lot of companies don't want to say that. Some companies are like, don't ever talk about press releases because, we release stuff to the press, but the press reported on us and it wasn't good, right? That's what some companies say, not us. We put out press release after press release telling this significant public story. This has been carefully scripted. Like, we're not where we are today because Michael Falquist didn't have a vision. He's doing exactly what he set out to do, what he said he was going to do. This has been choreographed all along the way. So in February of 2022, this is a year before Think Plus ever existed. The name didn't even exist. Okay, Energy Well, a sustainable energy transition, they announced the launch of their B2B technology licensing platform called Proton. Proton, you're going to see this pop up. It is a proprietary technology platform that allows us to do all of the services that we're doing that no one else is able to do. Let's kind of put it that way for us from a Think Plus perspective. So Proton is an amazing platform, and they've put tens of millions of dollars into development in this platform, since they launched this platform. Then in June of 2022, before Think Plus even existed, right? Well, guess what happened? They announced that they were starting the launch of their community solar division within the company. It wasn't even Think, it was just Energy Well Community Solar. So they got into the community solar. And it talks about the Proton technology platform and how they can do things with that, revolving around not just energy, but community solar as well. So very exciting platform that was announced then. And then in December of 2022, this is when it starts to get interesting from the Think Plus perspective. See, Energy Well completed the acquisition of Think Energy. Think Energy was a retail provider for energy for 10 years before Energy Well acquired them. They had their own platform. They were owned by a company called Anji, and Think Energy Well acquired Think Energy from Anji Energy Marketing North America. And then Energy Well became the owner of Think Energy. Out with the old, in with the new. All new platforms, all new services. They wanted the licenses. They got the licenses to get into the States quickly. That was one of the things that, we looked at when we first started this company. Michael Falk said to the founders, he said, you guys, you want us to go get a license that already exists and it might have some baggage with it? Because they have their own reviews and they're not great. And they weren't. They were like a 1-star rated company after 10 years. But he said, do you want us to get into the space faster, like 2 years faster than we could if we went out and got new licenses? And we'll have to deal with the baggage, and we'll just have to take that history, and we'll have to just improve on it and make it overshadow it. And that's what we did. We decided to get started early. It was a strategic decision. It was the right decision. And so we did that. So now Think Energy falls under the Energy Well umbrella as a supplier. And that's where the name Think Plus came from, because in February of 2023, Think Energy announced the launch of the newly rebranded thinkenergy.com, all brand new, and a new network marketing sales channel called Think Plus, all under the Energy Well umbrella. See this story starting to happen? See how all these things happen? It's very exciting. And that's when myself and my business partners, Jim, Brendan, and Ed Kenny, and our significant others, there's Diana, my wife, and there's Lisa in the center, Jim's wife, who's right behind Lisa. And there's Michael Falquist, and this is one of our first meetings that we ever did. I think this was in Massachusetts or New Hampshire. I'm not sure. I think one of those two places. I can't remember where we took this exact picture, but it was right around the time that we first launched, and we did our public launches and did our launch tour. So that's when it happened. That's when Think Plus was born. But all of this stuff had already happened in the background. Michael Falquist, he already had the technology platforms, the companies behind him, the partnerships, the community solar. He already had everything going. It's amazing, right? And then a press release comes out in March of 2024, where Energy Well reintroduces this industry-shifting proton platform. See, they went to work and they kept increasing and putting more technology and putting more thought and building up on this already successful platform. And it allowed us to do some things that you're going to see in press releases coming up, because in February of 2025, because of the proton platform, and it mentions it in the article, the press release, we started talking about Think Smart and the smart thermostat technology, and how the proton platform, allows us to interface with smart meters and smart thermostats and other smart devices in people's homes to be able to get this Think Smart platform going in the state of Texas. And so we announced that in the state of Texas in February of 2025. Then in August of 2025, 6 months later, Think Plus introduces the Think Plus network, which is a purpose-driven sales force. That's us. We announced the launch of autosave. This is a proprietary technology. No one else has autosave. No one else has this anywhere in America. It doesn't exist. And it's only available through the Think Plus network. So we have this incredible Think Home Solutions company that is helping us to administer autosave to people so that they can never pay more than the utility price, guaranteed forever, as long as they're on our platform, never pay more than the utility, and guaranteed to save money when Think can be your supplier with no fees, no penalties, and you can cancel or leave whenever you want. This just happens automatically, never ever need to renew. So this is something that was groundbreaking, right? And so we launched this platform in August of 2025. So when you look at the technology and the proprietary services, you're talking about the Proton platform that's enabling a lot of this. You're talking about autosave in 6 states and counting. No one else has it. You're talking about Think Smart and smart thermostats in 4 states and counting. No one else has Think Smart technology. We're in 4 states and counting. The home battery program. which we haven't even publicly announced yet via a press release because we're still in the pilot phase. It's already taking the industry by storm, and people are wondering, like, how can they possibly bring these batteries that cost $10,000 or $20,000? How can they bring these to people and put them on their home at no cost? Like, how can that possibly be? What's the catch? They're all wondering. It's because of our technology platforms, the way we do business, and the partnerships that we have. So this is now a pilot in 4 states and counting. With, if you asked me last month, it would have been 1 state and counting. So it's moving from Texas. Now it's in New Jersey, Illinois, and PA coming up soon. So we're going to launch that pilot program very soon. In the next 30 days, it'll be 4 states. Community solar billing platform for solar farm developers. It's all part of our technology platform. These are things that we do for community solar developers that build solar farms and don't have a great billing platform. We provide the solution for them. Here it is, business in a box for you, right? That's what we're doing. We also have fixed electricity rates still, just like the old school days, right? In 6 states that haven't switched to autosave yet. So 6 states for fixed electricity rates. And we're doing things that no one else is doing, like because of the way we do business, and we come up with these innovative strategies. And one of them is this product change fee in the state of Texas, where our competitors will charge an early termination fee of potentially hundreds of dollars to allow a customer to switch to a new lower rate after they've already locked in, like if rates go down. But not us. We have a product change fee. They pay $29.95 and they can get the new rate whenever they want. They can do it as much as they want. Guys, that's how it works, okay? $29.95 to change your fee. You can do $29.95 again next month to change your fee if rates continue to go down. It's just amazing what we have. Then you look at the strategic partnerships. Now, what I will say is that I remember when we first started the company, and Michael's like, nobody knows who we are. Michael Falquist, he's like, nobody knows who we are. We're just getting the word out about it. We just made up this name, Think Plus, and got it trademarked and branded and all that stuff. Nobody knew who we were. And we were the small player on the block. And, you know, my business partners and I, Jim, Brendan, and Ed, and myself, we had already been in the energy space, in the community solar space for, I think, like 4 years or 5 years, 4 years, I think, at that point. And so we already knew the community solar space, and we knew what it took to get yourself into that market and ramp up and, you know, get developers of solar farms to partner with you so that you can fill their slots. They're not just going to partner with anyone. Okay, this is big business, right? So I remember when we landed our first community solar partnership ever, and it was like, wow, this is unbelievable. This is so cool. And yeah, somebody believes in us. We're like the little engine that could. I think we can, I think we can, I think we can, I know we can, I know we can, right? That was us. And so that was, you know, in 2023, in you know, like May of 2023. Is when we really started getting those partnerships. And then all of a sudden it started to snowball from there. And now the entire industry is flipped around because we're like this major marketplace on the block. If we're not the biggest, we're one of the biggest marketplaces in America for community solar out of nowhere. Okay, literally out of nowhere. People had no idea what was coming. Now we have community solar developers like coming to us. We want to give you our capacity because we know that you can fill it. So that's what's happening. And now Michael Falquist and our vice president of community solar, Steve Condon, and the whole team, the whole technology team and executive team, they have now created partnerships with just about every big major community solar developer. I don't think there are any left. We're partnered with all of them. We have an electricity generation partner. This is part of our press release that people could read. Engie North America, the preferred supplier agreement that we have with them. Yeah, of course we have a great agreement with them. They're one of the largest generators of electricity on the entire planet. And who knows, we may be doing business outside of the US at some point here. Okay, so you want to have strategic partnerships. But Energy Well acquired Think Energy from Engie, if you remember from that press release. And so we now have this preferred supplier agreement that allows us to get incredible rates for our customers. And the home battery program with EcoFlow, that has now been out there. We've put it out there to our channels, but not publicly yet. Wait till that comes out, because EcoFlow is this massive battery company that's best in class by far. They're best in class. They are the top, top, top. Everybody knows it. They chose us and we chose them. This is a strategic partnership. And we're going to be unveiling this thing as this goes. People are going to love this program, just like the, I don't know, 50 or 100, customers that we have that are part of our pilot program already. Then we have, these aren't like specific partnerships, but we're using their technology. We've programmed it so that we're connecting their smart thermostats, Honeywell, Ecobee, and Residio. We're connecting their thermostats to our Think Smart program. So that's a strategic partnership as well to be able to do that. And we'll be adding more as we go. So you guys, then you look at, our Think Local program. This is something that I believe is also, well, it's proprietary. Nobody else has Think Local, but I don't think anybody else is doing this. See what it says right there? It says we have 13,500 plus advisors that are ready to take action across the US. What does that mean? It means that the company has deposited $135,000 into 13,500 Energy Advisors community cash wallets. They're ready to donate this cash. And all we have to do is go in these local communities, these 2,000 communities where our energy advisors live, and find these local campaigns like the 3 that you see on the screen here. See, we've already finished 30 of them, and these are 31, 32, and 33. So this is what's happening. We now have the ability, our advisors, the company, has decided that every time a customer comes into the Think Plus network, doesn't matter where it comes from, community solar, autosave, electricity, wherever. Every time a customer comes in, they put aside up to $10 in community cash into wallets of the people that brought those customers aboard or helped bring the customers aboard. And then that money goes out to, and we can donate it to local campaigns that we do. That's what we call them, campaigns. So we're scouting out actively new nonprofits to help. See, no one else has this. No one has this size of an organization that's actually doing this, where the company is putting their money where their mouth is, right up front per customer. We had a feature in the direct selling news in July of 2024 called the Young Company Spotlight. This is like a year and almost 2 years ago now. It's like a year and 9 months ago. And the article is just phenomenal. Go read it. It's talking about bringing fresh energy to this industry, because the energy industry has been like, since deregulation started, I mean, that was 20 years ago, maybe more. There's been no innovation in this industry at all. It's just been like it's like old archaic systems. And now here we come, this fresh new company bringing new technology, new services that no one's ever heard of before. They didn't even dream them up. And there's our Think Local people going on being, one of the Think Local campaigns that we had going. So go read the Young Company Spotlight. It is a great read. We also had in December of 2025, we were listed on the Direct Selling News Momentum Index. Think Energy was one of only 13 companies listed. Direct Selling News as a momentum company. There was requirements there. You had to have at least $100 million in annual revenue and a significant pattern of growth, or there were requirements there. So we were listed in there, one of only 13 companies and the only energy company in this sector for service companies. And then there it is. There's a little blurb on it right there again, where you see all the other companies that are in here. And some of these companies are like household names that have been around like for years, like Primerica. They've been around forever. Keller Williams, Legal Shield, they've been around forever. And there's Energy Well Think Plus. People are like, who the heck are they? Because we just came out of nowhere. You guys, and that's what this is. I mean, we approached $150 million in our third year. Energy Well Think Plus, $150 million in the third year of business. Go talk to somebody who's in any industry and ask them, how many companies do you know that did $150 million in their third year of business? Guys, that is some rare air right there. And that's where we are. It's by doing business the right way, and it reflects because we're very proud of our Trustpilot reviews. You know, when we acquired Think Energy, the license, the company, when we acquired that company, they had been around for 10 years. When I looked them up on Trustpilot, this was one of the first things I did. We decided, are we going to buy Think Energy and utilize it completely differently or not? And are we going to take their baggage that they had, which is reviews from the past 10 years, and try to up those reviews? And we decided to do it, and it was a smart move. It allowed us to be nimble and quick and get into the market. But here's what happened. When I looked at this company in December of 2022, when we were first talking about this with Michael Falquist and he was making the decision, they had a 1.5 star rating out of 5 after 10 years in business. So now we take over and we can't get rid of their reviews. Just because you took over the company, it's still the same company name, and we kept the company name because it was licensed and it got us into the markets. It was, again, a strategic decision. But we've now built this. I remember we went from 1.5 to 1.6. I was like, it's working, 1.8, 2.2, 2.9, 3.1. We're now up to 4.4 and growing, including, this is after just 3 years of business. By doing business the right way, for 3 years, we've taken a 1.5 rating after 10 years and adding in 3 years of doing the business the right way, we're at 4.4. Guys, you cannot do that on Trustpilot unless you're doing business the right way and taking care of the customer. And it says right in there, this is AI, the unbiased, right? Reviewers overwhelmingly had a great experience with this company. Customers consistently praised the excellent value for money, highlighting significant savings on their electricity bills. The service is frequently described as amazing, with many appreciating the ease and efficiency of the process. That's a robot going through and telling you what it reads from across all the reviews on average. That's not some biased person. That's the data. That's what the data reveals. It's very exciting. I love that that's there. And so you summarize those accolades. The DSN, Young Company Spotlight, the Trustpilot, the 30 campaigns funded through Think Local. We have a press release where we did a campaign with One Tribe, where we had 1 million trees planted. We were donating to get 1 million trees planted for every customer that came aboard. We finished that campaign. They came into our national convention and spoke at our national convention. We had our Think Plus Energy Well execs that are speaking at industry conferences all over America. Why? Because we're doing business the right way, doing things no one else is doing, and injecting innovation and new services into a stale industry. But it's on top of mind for everybody because who's not paying an electric bill? Everybody pays an electric bill, and it's always too much. We've been featured on local news outlets, press releases as well, not press releases, but articles written about us, and then that DSN Momentum Index in 2025. Tough for a 3-year-old company to have these type of accolades, and then on top of that, of course, no other company offers this lineup. There is no other company in America or anywhere, not just America, anywhere, that offers autosave, electricity plans, smart thermostat programs, home battery programs, and community solar. We are the only company in the lane. We've created our own superhighway in the energy sector. No one else is even on it. We do not have competitors that are on our highway. Think about that. And that's what we get to bring to the marketplace. And it's why we're creating this. We're talking about one of our next phases of bringing $1 billion in savings to our customers. I'm not talking about earning $1 billion. We're talking about saving our customers crazy money. I mean, it's just, I look at it and say, I wonder how soon we can save our customers $10 billion, because at some point that's going to happen on our current growth rate. It's just crazy what is happening, you guys. So yeah, we have some lofty goals, but that's what you have to have if you're going to go and do something that no one else has ever done before. So guys, that's where it is. Go check it out. If you're doing research on our company, you're a prospect just taking a look at this. You can't get into Think Success because that's a password protected thing in our web office, and you can't get into the official Facebook group either with Think Plus unless you're an advisor, but you can certainly go to our YouTube channel, to our Vimeo channel, You can go into our team documents as well and see stuff there, but go and check out some other videos, do some research. You can get into somebody can share all of the press release links with you from our Telegram update channel. We have all the press releases in one post. You can just take that whole thing, copy it, paste it, and send it to somebody. So ask the person who was having you take a look at this, get me all those press releases. I want to click through and read them. I mean, honestly, if you read all those press releases that I just went through and you weren't at least interested in finding out how you can take advantage of this, then forget it. It's not for you. Because after reading those, I'd have to say, there's got to be something, either you're just not looking for anything in your life at all ever, or you're going to be interested in what we're doing. So you guys, I appreciate everybody being here.